Well, a very good day to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Candy Talk here on Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. Remember, this is Kenya's most comprehensive political and public governance analysis show. I'm here with Wakili Willis Otieno, ready to help you understand all that is taking place within this country and across our borders. Wakili, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you doing?
This is Monday, and
Yes.
of course, tomorrow is Tuesday. We are expecting the Finance Bill 2024 to be presented formally in Parliament, so that the members of Parliament can therefore debate and have a chance to vote for or against it. But then, of course, the Finance Committee is done with deliberations and the committee meetings that they had. The retreat is already done. But then already we've got hints that there is a possibility that they could actually do away with some of the contentious clauses in that particular bill. One of them being the vehicle circulation tax, the eco levy, and even the tax, the VAT on bread. Therefore, these are some of the issues that are actually caused public outcry. People are asking now, if at all it's true that they will actually do away with all these things that caused uproar among the people, then do you think it would be fair now for us to give the members of Parliament a go-ahead to pass the Finance Bill 2024?
A finance bill is a revenue-raising legislation.
Okay.
What Kenyans are saying, don't increase our taxes. That's the principle.
Okay.
The rest are details. Okay? And it is not a must that the government must come up with a finance bill every year. The Finance Act of last year, this financial year, is still in force. The new bill just repeals the old one.
So we can still use the...
It can still be used because it amended several legislations and those provisions are still applicable. What we are saying in essence is that don't increase our taxes, charges and levies. That is the cry of Kenyans, that in the prevailing economic circumstances, we are not able to afford even a shilling more to pay to government. So the details were motor vehicle circulation, export promotion levy, the excise duty on mobile phones. All those are now details of where they were increased. And I'd say they had increased over 200 new taxes in this finance bill. That's what they have proposed. We are saying, forget about that increment. Don't add us even a coin on anything. Continue implementing the previous year's Finance Act and the changes it brought as you organize yourself as government to find out why is this economy not working for Kenyans. Because the largest expenditure item of our debt, of our revenue books, is debt finance. The second largest expenditure item is personal comfort of Ruto and his cronies. We are simply saying, reorganize your house. You can't be telling us that you're increasing our charges and taxes, and yet you are giving your wife and the deputy president's wife 1.5 billion shillings more. For what? You are increasing my taxes on motor vehicle, and you are spending 18 billion shillings in 1 year on travel alone. 2 people, and 3 people actually. I mean, it doesn't make sense. Start by cutting all those expenses. Reduce your meetings to Zoom. Stay in Kenya and work. For the period William Ruto has been in this country as president, 18 months now, he has traveled to 63 countries. Do you know what that means? This man spends an average of 3 weeks per month outside Kenya, visiting other countries. If that is his scorecard, then you ask yourself, when did this man ever report to duty? When did he ever sit down to say, I'm now the president of Kenya, these are my TORs, I've reported to duty, I need to take time to understand my people and to serve them? It's never. So Kenyans are saying, no, forget about increasing our charges and levies and taxes. So scale down your travels. Why are you buying new cars every day? Take those away. Why are you driving fuel guzzlers? Take that away. Why are we paying 80% of our revenue on debt? Open those debt books. What is in it? What is legit? What is odious? What was it used for? Did the money ever land in Kenya? If it didn't, we are not going to pay. So take time to understand what the people want. Because we want an economy that makes sense to everybody. Deal with the question of the collapsing healthcare system. Deal with the question of education sector. Huh? We don't even know what kind of education system you're running in. Deal with the question of infrastructure.
Okay.
What roads are you going to put up for the people of Kenya? Which are the priority projects for this government? This financial year that's coming to an end, William Ruto and his people had allocated 867 billion Kenya shillings for development finance. And at the end of May, they had only used 200 billion Kenya shillings. They had not used over 600 billion. They never signed money for projects, which means government lied to Kenyans at the beginning of the financial year that we will carry out projects to your benefit worth 867 billion. Whatever they did was they only allocated now money. They now only expended, call exchequer issues, of projects that are only worth 200 billion. That is why you ask yourself, which major project has this government done? What is their signature project? Kibaki was known here for opening up the road sector. We saw a massive infrastructure boom in this country when Kibaki was president. Uhuru, with his failures, still had his choo-choo train coming from Mombasa to Nairobi. He put up the bridge in Beta, did the Mau Mau Road. You could see things he was doing, Kisumu, Mamboleo, Muroni Road. I mean, and they were all over.
Okay.
Despite his failures, he was a failure less like Ruto. But you could see he was doing far much better. There was something that they were attempting to do in terms of development. These ones, what have they done? The housing levy that they collected, last month, they decided to take that money to the markets to buy treasury bonds and bills. 220 billion Kenya shillings. Why? Some people are saying they have absorption rate problem. They can't absorb the money. So why did you collect in the first place? Now you're using it to trade with the people of Kenya. It's Kenya people's money. You take it to the market to buy on behalf of Kenyan people. Then you go back to the people to pay you interest rates. So what project have these guys done? Tell me which road. Tell me which bridge. Tell me which railway. None. And a government that is not engaging in any developmental project stifles the economy. Because when you are doing a project, you stimulate the economy. You are pumping money into the economy and the cyclic nature of that money in that economy. By the time it comes back to government as tax, it comes in different dimensions. And you've created value add in people's lives. Those who are able to earn from that money have improved their lots. They've improved their businesses. So when government is not doing a project, how do you stimulate an economy?
Okay.
And when that government fails to stimulate an economy and opts to be borrowing from the domestic market, it is now locking out private sector from borrowing from that market.
Okay.
How will this economy grow? So what Kenyans are saying, William Ruto needs to report to duty. And Kenyans, irrespective of their tribe, age, color, gender, have in unanimous verdict said the problem of this country is the economy stupid. Don't tell us about anything else.
Okay.
Just tell us about the economy and what you are going to do to fix it. And there's no politician who should be given an audience anywhere when they're not discussing this economy. Because we cannot have a country that only exists to serve politicians when the people who are contributing to the economy, the people whose money is used to sustain the government, are suffering. That is where we are today.
Okay. So Wakili, then does it mean that even after there could be a possibility of removing those contentious clauses, still you wouldn't advocate for the passing of this particular bill?
I will not advocate for the passing of any bill that increases even a coin, not even a shilling, to the tax that is being paid by the Kenyan man. Where I sit, I believe that the Kenyan man is overtaxed. The Kenyan man is living a life of penury. The Kenyan man has no money in his pockets. The economy is killing the Kenyan man and woman. So any legislation being discussed in parliament should not be asking this man to dig deeper into his pocket.
Right.
Because there's nothing in that pocket. So yes, I'll say we must reject any legislation that increases tax, charges, or levies on the Kenyan man and woman.
There are those people who actually believe that these contentious clauses were deliberately introduced into the Finance Bill 2024 to perhaps test people, so that when they are done away with, as now, as of course the rumors I have it that they are about to do away with them, then people would say, oh, at least they've listened to us and done away with this. Do you think doing away with, okay, is that right in the first place? Do you believe in that kind of assertion? And if it's right, do you think that just removing those few clauses alone would now make things a little bit better for the country, now that the government also needs to generate revenue
but
to run its business?
You keep saying government needs to generate revenue, as if there was no money being generated last year or even this week.
Okay.
Today is Monday. On Friday, the Accountant General was disbursing funds to various government agencies, the allocations for the week, the collections for the week. Government regenerates even today, even as I'm sitting here. The Kenya government is generating revenue.
But we are not seeing any development.
No. That's the question you should be asking. Don't tell me that you will only raise the revenue if you pass the finance bill that is punitive. No. As I'm sitting here, government of Kenya is generating revenue. So people are paying money even now, even to drive to your offices to take this call. There was money I paid in my fuel levy. That was revenue. Government is already still raising revenue even now as we are sitting here. They are raising revenue.
They're raising, okay, well, let me ask you this. They're raising revenue, yet the KRA is saying that they failed to meet their
but
target.
If you have the point is this, you have unrealistic targets that are killing the economy.
Okay.
When you come up with high taxation on fuel, you increase VAT on fuel from 8% to 16%, what do you expect? I told you we've reached the Laffer curve. What it means is that if Kenyans were consuming 1,000 liters of fuel per week, now with the increased charges, they will consume 200 liters of fuel in that week.
Okay.
So your collection in fuel levy will go down. Your collection in VAT on fuel, you thought you raised it, it will go down. The Laffer curve. Behavioral economics. People change their behaviors based on their capacity, their earning capacities, and the charges you're levying on them. So what they did last year, they had a lofty target. We want to raise 4 trillion. They thought they would raise it by increasing taxes. Kenyans voted on their feet.
Okay.
They are collecting at the end of this at the end of May. They are collected 1.9 trillion Kenya shillings against a target of 4 trillion. It was actually 3.9 something trillion.
Okay.
So people adjusted their lives accordingly. And many people who are participating in the economy stopped participating.
Okay.
The largest component of taxation is the VAT, the largest contributor. VAT is a consumption tax. You earn it when people spend, services offered, goods purchased that are vatable. If you increase VAT or impose VAT or you increase charges and levies and taxes on consumable items, people will adjust accordingly. They stop using that item. If I was using 5 of them, I'll use 1 in a week.
Okay.
So it means your collectible from VAT goes down. At the end of the month, you're asking, I thought these people are still going to buy the 5 items they're doing per week. They've only bought 1 per week. So for the month, they've bought 4 as opposed to 20.
Okay.
Then you are seeing your collection has reduced. So your economic theory cannot work.
So essentially, you're saying even if they increase the taxes, they're not going to meet the target.
I say it
just
here,
as the previous,
they shall not meet their target. If you compare year on year, Uhuru Kenyatta's last year in office, with no 16% VAT on fuel, with no 35% pay as you earn tax, with no housing levy, the difference between Uhuru Kenyatta's collection in his final year and William Ruto's collection in this year, with all those increased taxes, it's within the same bracket.
Okay.
Almost difference of about 5 billion. So it's the same bracket. He's not collected anything significant.
Okay.
But after causing all this pain, and yet our population also has increased. More and more people have gotten into the consumption market. But yet, your collections are going down. Why? Because people have reached the Laffer curve. You are coming up with increased charges, taxes, and levies that are making them not to participate. People are adjusting their lifestyles to avoid spending.
Okay. No. Answer my question now. Do you think these clauses were deliberately introduced to doing Kenyans, that their views have been heard?
I don't think
eventually?
they were introduced. This is the intention. Of course, they were hoping Kenyans were going to take it. Yeah. They were hoping Kenyans were going to take it. They're just shocked at the reaction of the people of Kenya.
Okay.
And the Occupy Parliament tomorrow must continue. They didn't expect Kenyans, for example, to send them text messages. I saw some members of Parliament crying that Kenyans have inundated them with text messages, calls. There was even a brave Kenyan who opened a WhatsApp group of all members of Parliament and told them to their faces, you're all here to listen to me. And I'm telling you, you better reject that finance bill. And I urge Kenyans to go a step further. They should not stop. They should continue inundating them with calls and text. They should appear in Parliament tomorrow and occupy that Parliament. Article 1 of our Constitution vests all sovereign power on the people of Kenya. The people are superior even to their Constitution. And they can exercise their sovereignty directly or through democratically elected representatives. The elected representatives have turned out to be pigs. They are not serving the interest of their populace. The people can now take over that power and do it themselves. I urge Kenyans to go further. Even their mothers, even their wives, even their children, send them text messages to tell them, your relative is a disgrace to the people of Kenya. Can he reject the finance bill? If they don't do it, send to the friends of their children, send to the friends of their wives, send to the schoolmates, the principals of where their kids go to school, send them messages. If you're in school with any members of Parliament's child, urge your kids, or if you're in school with them, tell the kids in that school, your father or your mother is a disgrace if he does not reject this finance bill. What am I saying? We must see social ostracization of people who are elected to represent Kenyans and they ignore the views of the people they represent. So the society must pay them back. They need to be ostracized from this society. They cannot be part of this society. Even if you meet them in a mall, in a restaurant, in a funeral, in a social gathering, you should tell them to their face, we don't accept this kind of behavior. We expect you to vote no. Because that is the voice of the people. And the voice of the people is the voice of God. The people have spoken unanimously on this finance bill. And if they dare pass it, I'll urge Kenyans to exercise their civil action and do all that is permissible within the law to show them to their faces that they are not accepted in our society. They no longer represent the people in this society. Because we must send a very strong and powerful message to members of Parliament. I cannot greet a member of Parliament with my hands, any of them who will ever vote for this finance bill. I will never share a platform with such a person.
Okay. So you're saying for you there is nothing good at all in this particular bill, and that's why you're calling for its total rejection.
But I've told you, yes, there's nothing good. Okay. What we have so far is a finance act that is being implemented. It is causing us economic pain. Already, they are collecting revenue. It is causing us pain. What we need is a relief. People to adjust their lifestyles. Look at the debt finance. Not to go to Kenyans to ask them to guarantee your fake lifestyle, living off taxpayers' money.
Kimani Ichung'wah says there isn't any particular tax regime that has ever been liked by the people. Is it right or wrong?
You know, he can talk like that. I saw some Kenyan called him Mukawa Ruto. So he can speak the way he wants to please his master. But he's not a special, or he's not a demigod. Kimani Ichung'wah is just a mere MP elected here from Kikuyu. He is not superior to the people of Kikuyu. And the people of Kikuyu have also said, we don't want this finance bill. So who does he think he is? He can speak and dance as much as he wants, lie prostrate for Ruto to see him dancing. But his ultimate employer are the people of Kikuyu and the people of Kenya. And when they elected him, they gave him a constitution to abide by. And that constitution told him you must do public participation. That public participation must be qualitative and quantitative. You must take into account the views of the people before you make a decision. Why is he ignoring it? Kenya is not asking for a tax regime that they love. Kenya is asking for a tax regime that makes sense to them. that they can contribute to. Because remember, everybody pays taxes and nobody will want not to pay tax. Every Kenyan will want to pay tax. Because it's our government, it's our country. And the country grows from the collections by its sovereign. So everybody wants to pay tax. But we are saying, don't impose it on us. Let's have a conversation. The measures must take into account our pockets to enable us to contribute in a meaningful way that grows the economy. If they've become slaves of IMF and World Bank, then they should get out of there. We deal with World Bank and IMF. We got our independence in 1963. If there is still a white man here in the name of IMF and World Bank trying to colonize Kenyans, then they should tell us, we deal with them. I don't think we are short of brave men in Kenya
Okay.
who will fight for this economic liberation of our people.
We are waiting for tomorrow, of course, the Tuesday, and you're saying the Occupy Parliament movement is still on. I've seen several people on social media actually advocating for and calling upon people to march to Parliament and actually urge the members of Parliament there to reject it in totality. But here we are. The judiciary has decided to suspend services, so to say. I wonder if anybody falls on the wrong side of the police tomorrow. How will that be handled anyway?
They are entitled to their rights in the Constitution, including the right to be released if they are arrested on bail, even police bail or bond. They have entitled the right not to be held for more than 24 hours without being presented before a courtroom. And let's not fear these policemen.
24 hours, yet the courts are not functioning.
No. You are supposed to be presented 24 hours. So if you can't be presented, you have to be released. Yeah. Who said that the state must present you to court? They can as well release you before. And we should not fear these policemen. At the end of the day, these policemen, when they retire, they come back to the society to live with us. How many retired policemen are with us even today?
So many.
They also live with us even today. They're also feeling this pain. And if Ruto wants to be oppressive, then he should build more jails. Because the pain that Kenyans are going through here, everybody's complaining. Then he should arrest all of us, then turn the country into a jail. Then we can say we're in a police state. And we see if that is going to change the economic trajectory of this country. It will still be the same.
Well, our eyes are all set on tomorrow's function. Definitely, the Occupy Parliament movement is still on, but then we are still waiting to see the kind of decision that our members of Parliament will make tomorrow with regards to the Finance Bill 2024. Will they reject it, or will they actually pass it? Well, your guess may be as good as mine, but let's wait and see. Till then, have yourself a lovely day. My name is Evans Okinyi.